Hey, how's it going, guys? It's your boy, and I noticed that you lot really like these kind of message to videos. I don't know if it's because of the drama or because the things that I say are good and you guys agree with these things and these people should actually take my advice. I know, advice from me. Well, here's the thing. Advice from me who's not had any sleep yet, and it is actually 8:44 in the morning as of recording. And well, well, I don't have much sleep anyway, and you guys know how much that affects the channel sometimes. Sometimes content isn't made on that day because I have not gotten up until way into the evening or something ridiculous like that. Yeah, that's how bad my insomnia can be sometimes. But hey, I'm here, so let's get the video done. I can edit this later on when I wake up. So this is, of course, to Kraut, my old friend. Or will we ever friends? I don't know. It doesn't really matter too much. But here's a message to you. So I see you've returned. You've made your grand entrance back onto YouTube. And you know what? Great. You're back. I never wanted you to stop making content, alright? I wasn't really one of those that hated your alt-right videos. I mean, to be fair, I didn't really know what to make of them. I know a lot of people criticise them a lot and you were mocked. And to be fair, probably quite rightly, because as we all know, trouts do not give birth to live young. Some sharks do, actually. You would have been better served talking about sharks. They're fish, and they can sometimes give birth to live young. Although, are they considered fish now? I don't know. But hey, whatever, that's besides the point, Kraut. Kraut, you haven't moved on from the drama that happened several months now. In fact, how long ago was it? It must have been at least a year. It feels like a year, at least in internet terms. It's been a long time, Kraut. And you haven't moved on. You moved on from the AIU shit. You've moved on from other things that other people have done to you in the past. What's changed that you've become this bitter, grudge-making man? I mean, don't get me wrong. I hold grudges, but I can't actually help it, you know? But even then, like, I learned to really just ignore those people who I have grudges against for whatever reason and just do what I'm doing, let them do what they're doing, as long as it doesn't actually impact me, or I feel as if I don't have to make a video on it because it isn't relevant. If they do something that is relevant to me, or I feel should be spoken about, I will make a video on said people. But if they're doing nothing, and I'm doing nothing, and if it doesn't impact any of us in any way, or somebody that we know, or a community that we know, then I'm going to leave them alone, and they hopefully will leave me alone. That's how it should be if you don't like these people. We're supposed to be adults here, right? But no, you come back, and rather than just saying, look, let's take a break from the past and I'm just going to do my content, you'll take it or leave it, you'll love it or hate it, but I'm back, I'm going to focus on the content. Rebuild my dying channel, because as Aiden, I think, told me, I don't know if this was live or even in the post-live discussion after her recent stream, which some of your fans were raiding quite badly, I might add. She said that you've lost about 30,000 subscribers. You have 100k left. That's worse than Monday Matt. That is so much worse than Monday Matt. But again, that's over a longer period of time. You have longer periods of inactivity, mostly because you've been trying to keep low because of that shit you keep getting yourself into. And look, it's time to stop. You have to stop this. You have to get back to making content that people like and what you're good at. And that is criticising Islam, criticising culture. Also, you should stop trying to go after people, you know? Stop going for the personal thing, because that's the thing that movements like them and the SJWs are good at. But as I've seen, apparently people like you, Kraut, and Germanica, whatever he was fucking called, and all the other crappy extremists are really no different. You all do these that same shit to each other. So really, there's no point criticising you over that and not them. You're all as bad as each other and you feed off of each other. When really, we should be looking more for healthy debate. But we're not going to get that. Whatever. I guess I shouldn't really bother with that. But I'm going to try and get you to look at that. But here's another thing. Abandon these fucking wars. Nobody cares anymore. I don't care. Uzulu doesn't care. Aiden Paladin doesn't care. Nobody cares. I have constantly seen people like Devil's Advocate go on and on and on about Aiden and other people. And Aiden, because she's more autistic than even I am, takes the bait and continually gives these people the attention that they want and the validation that they want, because they feel that they're still in this drama when everybody else has moved on and doesn't give a rat's ass about your feelings, about what you think. They have their opinion, and their opinion is that you doxed people, or at the very least held people's docs that was already out there for nefarious means. Because let's be honest, I think the latter is probably true, at least more true for some people in that horrible server than actually doxing people. But you still used it. You were planning on using it. I don't know to what extent that was going to be, but you did plan on using it for whatever reason. And you still don't understand why people don't like that. And you still don't understand why people are trying to tell you, look, nobody cares. Look, mate, it's over. You lost. Concentrate on what you're good at. Concentrate on that, living your life as well. You have a life outside of the internet, right? I mean, you must know that because you've not really been on YouTube. I mean, you've been on Twitter occasionally and you resurface every now and then, but it seems to me like you've forgotten that you have family, you have girlfriends, you are obviously capable of getting girlfriends, unlike some people, yet you're still obsessed with these people that you had a fight with ages ago. You need to drop it. And you need to surround yourself with better friends online, because people like Habib, ass kissers. People like Jeff Holiday, ass kissers. People like Sandre, who means well, is kind of ass kissing you, and he shouldn't because he knows better. And I like Sandre, okay? I like you, Sandre, but you need to bring Kraut to one side and say, look, mate, this is it. This is over. Stop it. You guys are enabling this guy's attitude. Kraut is not all there mentally. We all know this, all right? I'm not saying he's completely insane. He's not. He just has a few screws loose, like a lot of us do. I know I do, but at least I try to keep it in check every now and then. But Kraut obviously needs a little bit more help. He needs people to be logical and rational with him and to try and get him to actually see the error of his ways, because I don't know if it's ego or a mental thing, but he just can't. That's why he's come back and he's made videos about everybody, especially Braving Ruin and Aiden and other people. And Coach Redpill, he made a whole 25-minute video on Coach Redpill. Nobody cares about Coach Redpill anymore. Everybody knows that he's a con artist and he doesn't care about his audience. He just wants to make money off of them. And that's that. Like, he was the one trying to jump onto your drama, even though you did hold some things of him. But again, he put all that out there himself, okay? I'll give you that. But stop it. Seriously. You ass kissers, you're the worst people, because you should really be telling him to stop doing this. But instead, we get comments from Jeff Holiday like, I'm going to make my Twitter better quality. Raise the IQ, I guess that's what you want to do, right? Make it better, right? So you'll get rid of the parasites. Yeah, so me, a parasite. Louis Laveau, a parasite. Really? Me? I didn't even attack you during that whole drama, and you were apparently linked with that, if I remember correctly. I didn't say a fucking word about you or Memory. I was not happy with how they treated her and your son. I think that was well out of order. But you don't see me even attacking you over that. I didn't, because I thought we were friends. And I didn't want to lose that friendship, because I've seen that you were moving in that direction anyway. If anybody criticises you, it's a ticking clock on how many months or days you'll be remaining friends. So to see you unfollow me was a bit hurtful, unless there was a mistake there and I just got it wrong. But you've both since unfollowed me and you've become what Kraut is. But anyway, back to Kraut and his friends. Take him to one side and bash some sense into him, because it's not working. Because you just enabling him. You saying, go for it, bro. You're actually beating these people when really he's making a mockery out of himself. People aren't laughing with him. People aren't enjoying his content for the reasons that he thinks. They're enjoying it because it's shit, because it's laughably bad. And they're laughing at him because he looks like a fool. He looks he looks like a guy who thinks he's winning when he isn't. And that's funny. I mean, what does this do for you, Kraut? Why do you bring all this shit back up? I don't know. Are you trying to finish off where you started? Is that what it is? Or do you genuinely feel that the war is not over? That you still need to right the wrongs and show people that you didn't do nothing? I really don't understand. You should have done what really Monday Matt has tried to do and ignore it and move on, because eventually the alt-right will ignore you. The AIU fans have eventually got fed up with you. But then again, this is you. You're either steadfast in your determination to overcome anything, or you're a fucking jittering mess. Yes, you can be. That's you. And it's up to you to fix that, sadly. I can't do shit about that, sadly. I'm just a YouTuber who was once kind of friendly acquaintances with you, possibly friends, that you probably didn't really look highly upon anyway. Because you're actually forgetting that even I didn't really criticise you all that much. Because I still thought, look, you're a good person at heart. I don't think you're actually evil. I think you've been deluded. I think you have been basically doing this to yourself. You have got so high-strung about who you think the real enemy is that you don't even view these people as people anymore. You're viewing these people as subhuman and that they don't deserve your empathy and sympathy and they should be exterminated. Basically, you're being German. Stop it. All jokes aside, Kraut, you need to do more soul-searching, because when all this hit, you said you were going to do some soul-searching. You were going to withdraw and think about things. Well, you haven't thought about things. You must have done what Principal Skinner did and said, is it my fault? Am I wrong? No, the kids are wrong. That's what you've done. The kids are wrong. The alt-right are wrong. Because basically everybody who disagrees with you now is alt-right. No, Oozaloo is not alt-right. Aidan Paladin, believe it or not, is not alt-right. Most of the people criticising you were not alt-right. The alt-right are, as they always will be, that annoying little minority. Kind of like the SJWs as well. The people who criticised you were the people who once respected you, who once viewed you as a friend. And when they see that this is what you do to people who once considered you friends, or to human beings, I think they decided that you're a lost cause. In fact, a lot of people, like Oozaloo, saw this coming. I didn't see this coming, because I probably saw too much of the good in you, that I didn't think you were that rash and that arrogant to do the things that you did. And now I still don't realise that you're as deluded to continue these fights. Take it from me, alright? Karma does not exist. You cannot force things to happen. You cannot force these things to magically change and then you'll become the victor, alright? Life don't work that way, okay? I would love for some of the people that I've criticised over the years on YouTube to be down in the dumps, just dead, just like completely and utterly forgotten by history. They just sink into the mists of time, especially on the internet, which is very, very easy. I would love to do that. I wish I had that power. I wish I could do that. I wouldn't ban them or anything. I would just completely and utterly ruin their reputations legitimately to the point they can never recover. But that's never going to happen, because that's not how human beings work. You can do the most horrible, heinous shit and still be the biggest person on the planet. I mean, look at AIU. Look at some of the other people you've criticised or have been criticised on YouTube. They're still around because they're too big. Their audiences don't give a shit. Mainly because they're also kind of like that person. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. These alt-righters will always hate you. These people who aren't alt-right, who didn't like what you did, will probably always hate you unless you start building your bridges again and stop associating with absolute scum like Sherat. But whatever. And also, stop surrounding yourself with ass kissers who basically validate everything that you say and will continually placate you and encourage you to do things that are actually in your worst interests. Forget people like Habib, forget people like Holiday, forget any of those other people. Keep Sandre though, he's a good guy who should know better, and hopefully he does see the light, but maybe he's too blinded by his friendship with you. I don't know. I know I was. Learn to see the bigger picture. It's not all about you. Learn to see your mistakes. Actually try to learn from them. Try to see things from other people's perspectives, because it's pretty clear you've forgotten how. And realise what got you to where you are, or at least where you were before your fall. Now, personally, and I do subscribe to this kind of theory, this is quite a long one, guys, sorry. I mean, the other one was only like, what, 3-4 minutes? This is going to be over 10 minutes. I mean, people thought that you became too big too quickly, and I think I agree with that. You obviously were not mentally prepared for what this kind of platform is going to give you. I think You probably should have grown at a slower pace. However, the thing with TJ happened and you blew up. Okay, you absolutely blew up. You used to be smaller than me at the time. And I think you got arrogant. Your hubris became too big for you, and you thought you could get away with things because you were this big respected person who had good opinions, who made good arguments, who stood up against the horrible things that SJWs and AIU fans and AIU himself did. And you thought, much like Mundane Matt and other people, especially the people around you in that Discord group, that you could do the exact same things and get away with it, because as long as it doesn't get out there, or as long as you're doing it against the right people, it will be fine. Well, I'm sorry, you do not go around in the same circles as people who watch AIU or SJWs where that shit will fly. You don't run around in those circles. You are what people would term a YouTuber, a rational alt-centrist, where people don't subscribe to that shit, where there are such things as bad tactics and bad ways to go about it. Maybe some people would call this too chivalrous, too honourable, but there's a reason why people like us who have that kind of mindset try to not dox people or hold people's doxed against them, to censor people, things like that, or hold insane grudges like you do, because it doesn't help. It doesn't help the cause in any way. I can grant you your opinion that the alt-right is a bigger threat than the SJWs right now, despite the obvious who's in power right now thing, but whatever. You can have that opinion. You can go criticise them however you want. Just don't start doing that Discord shit. And if you're going to criticise them, at least be good at it. But you aren't. You're terrible. You should stop, I think, and concentrate on what you're good at for now until you actually come up with something. I'm not saying you should never do it ever. Just stop right now, because you obviously don't have any ideas. You don't. Rebuild your bridges, okay? Try to make amends with the people that you've wronged. It's going to be difficult. It will be difficult because these people were seriously hurt by what you did to them. Or at least they feel incredibly hurt. Start building bridges, okay? Get rid of the poisonous people and come back to the people who were not poisonous, who genuinely thought well of you. Grovel. You will need to grovel to these people. You will need to beg for their forgiveness for what you did, because I can't see any other reason how they're going to get back to you, because some of them were hurt so badly. You need to go back to those people rather than the people that you're currently with now, because they're doing no good for you. You also need to apologise to your fans, especially the ones that are still loyal at this point. The ones who do see the bad that you've done but still see the good in you. And you need to rebuild. It's not impossible. Nothing is impossible. You are past the 100,000 threshold. You should be fine for now. But the problem is, because you were so inactive and because you're still the same Kraut from a couple of months, maybe a year back that you are today, I don't know if you're going to fix it. But it's not unfixable. Nothing is unfixable until you reach that point, okay? You're definitely not, surprisingly, because, I don't know. You're not that dumb. You are actually quite smart in some cases, okay? You can do better than that. But hey, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Anyway, until next time, guys, I need to get some sleep. So until next time, I'll see you later.